Yes, yes, yes. Welcome to Cyber Safety Net Stay Safe Online, episode 153. How the $68,000 ACH scam worked. How the $68,000 ACH scam worked. My name is Mark Anthony Germanos. I'll be the presenter today. And today I'm talking about a Wells Fargo customer who mistakenly or naively, whichever word you prefer, sent $68,000 to a hacker. Today's presentation is sponsored by my fourth book, How Hacks Happen. In How Hacks Happen, there are two personas. There's me, Mark, the good guy, who wants to protect you, because I'm the good guy. And there's Brad Cracker, the bad guy, who wants to rip you off. And if Brad Cracker scores $68,000 from one victim, he thinks he's having a good day. Back in episode 102, I introduced the CIA triad, or the confidentiality, integrity, availability triad. Since we're talking about $68,000 that used to be available, but now it's gone, we are in the availability domain again. Now, here's a little background for you. The victim does their banking at Wells Fargo. They have savings and checking at Wells Fargo, and they had at least $70,000 in a savings account at a bank. If you got $70,000, there are other places to put it. Don't put it in a savings account at a bank where you're lucky to see 1% interest. Enough said. Number two, ACH is automated clearinghouse. It is one way to transfer money electronically. I send invoices to clients. Clients pay them with ACH. They send the money from their bank to my bank. It shows up in 2 to 3 days. It's safer than cutting a check, putting the check in an envelope, putting a stamp on the envelope, putting the envelope in the mail, hoping it gets to where it has to go, and then me receiving it within a week. So ACH is faster and it's safer. However, ACH is not instant. There is a lag or a delay, 2 or 3 days. I have 2 slides showing you the sequence of what happened here. And after the first slide, I'm going to pause and say, you'll know where this is going, don't you? And there's a little more verbiage in this presentation than usual. I'm sorry about that. Slide number 1. The hacker got into this person's, the victim's Wells Fargo account. They saw $70,000, at least $70,000, sitting in savings. They transferred it to checking. Then they contacted the victim and said they mistakenly transferred $70,000 to the victim's checking account. Can the victim please send money back or refund that money back to me? Because I made a mistake. I'm the hacker. Then they said, well, instead of refunding us the entire $70,000, just send us $68,000. Keep $2,000 as an inconvenience fee. And the victim thought, oh, it's an easy $2,000. I might as well help this guy. Y'all know where this is going, don't you? Yeah. That $68,000 is gone. The victim sent the hacker $68,000. Then the victim realized that a big chunk of money that used to be sitting in savings was transferred to checking. And then they did an outbound ACH to send 68,000 of that 70,000 to the hacker. Now comes the time when we say we need to blame somebody. And I'm going to turn off my screen share here. Who do we blame? Do we blame Wells Fargo because they allowed somebody into the victim's account? Probably not. Because if somebody's naive enough, and troll me on Twitter if you don't like my verdict here. If somebody's naive enough to keep $70,000 in a savings account, then they're probably naive enough to use the same password over and over and over or not use multi-factor authentication. Troll me on Twitter. Maybe we blame Wells Fargo because they allowed that $68,000 ACH to happen. I don't think we can blame Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo is not a helicopter parent. I think we blame the victim because they naively fell into a trap set by a hacker and they initiated that outbound transfer. Also, they should have checked to see if some $70,000 was moved from savings into checking. When I log into my bank account, I don't use Wells Fargo, I use somebody else. I can see business checking, personal checking, and another account I have there. So if there was some drastic money movement, I would see something that was a lot different than the last time I logged in. So the bank is not a helicopter parent. You have to be responsible. And when you send an outbound ACH, chances are you'll never see that money again. Very difficult to recall money. You know what? I'm done. I know your time is valuable. I know there are other places you could have been. You chose to listen to me, Mark Anthony Germanos, tell you about a hacker who convinced an innocent victim to send them $68,000. Oh my God, it really happened. Mark Anthony Germanos, thank you for watching. Good day, everybody. Be safe out there.